Hey guys, so I wanted to do this earlier, but was resting. I mean, yesterday I did carts and everything, so we gotta rest a little bit. But yeah, I'm here to give you my predictions for tomorrow night's AEW Revolution pay-per-view. My original plan was to do this as a live stream on Friday, but on Thursday, as a lot of you saw during the Topics on My Mind video or live stream there. Basically I got a call from my job, and they said, hey, can you basically come in? Well, actually what it was, they called me, left me a message, and then when I tried to call back, nothing happened. It got a little too busy, and then finally they called me back almost immediately after I did the live stream and said, hey, can you come in? So yeah, the reason I couldn't do my predictions yesterday is I was working, which sometimes is a benefit, because when you think about it, the more you work, the more money you make. End of story. But anyway, while I got the house to myself, because my mom, she's out with my sisters right now, celebrating my second oldest sister's birthday and everything, so she's out with them, and I might as well take the advantage of, having the house to myself. Not saying that I wouldn't have gone with them or anything, but the truth is we were kind of confused as to exactly what was going on. Whether it was just going to be a girls thing, the entire family, we weren't sure, so I remained here, and it's a good thing I did, because almost, I would say 40 minutes after they left, my dog went out to go use the restroom, and it was one of those instances where when your dog has to go to the bathroom and they have to do number two, sometimes they have to go back out again to do another number two because of, in this case, the weather being very different. Like, we have the house all heated up and everything, but when you go from hot to cold and cold to hot, it will affect you in some manner. But anyway, let's get on to the AEW Revolution card. There are in total 12 matches. That's right, 12 matches in total. 3 of them will be on what's known as the buy-in show. The buy-in show is basically, the kickoff, if you will, the equivalent of the WWE kickoff show, pre-show, whatever. And they have 3 matches that you'll be able to see on YouTube. I'm assuming also on TNT and stuff. And that's just my dog right now. She has allergies. She's all right. That's just my dog. They say she has allergies. She's all right. But anyway, like I said, the buy-in is basically the equivalent of the kickoff show in WWE. The difference, though, is AEW not only shows the buy-in on YouTube, Fight TV, and even part of the pay-per-view broadcast, but they also show it on, I think, TBS and TNT, if not both, or one or the other. And we got 3 lined up for that event, for that portion of the event, and then we got the 6, well, not 6, but the other, because there's 12, so we got 3 lined up for the buy-in, so that means we're going to have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches on the official card. But let's take a look at the buy-in matches first of all and go over those matches and who I think is going to win. We have Hook going on. We have Hook, Taz's legitimate son, Hook, going one-on-one with QT Marshall. Hook's going to win this. He's going to... the one thing I'll say about this, I think what they're going to do is they're going to make it look like QT is going to have a chance. Like, they'll give QT probably the most offense anybody's had on Hook. But in the end, Hook's going to win. And I think what's going to happen as a result is QT will want to shake Hook's hand. He'll get locked in to another Taz mission-like submission that he uses as his finisher. Or what will happen is QT will get on the mic, apologize to Hook for trying to pursue him, congratulate Taz, and then maybe try to offer an alliance. Like, hey, if we work together, we could do even more. So... I don't know what will come out of it, but I do know Hook's going to win this match. No questions asked. You got Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statler. Layla Hirsch, legit Layla Hirsch, recently I guess has turned heel. At least has had a chip on her shoulder, because she's supposed to be the more real of the fighters, or the women wrestlers. And I guess she doesn't like Statlander's alien gimmick or something. I don't really know. But both are very good. Layla is one of the smallest, and I say that with all due respect. Smallest smallest members, I should say, of the women's division, but she can go. I mean, she took Camille in the NWA, 70th, 73rd anniversary event. she took Camille to a limit. So I do believe Layla, given the chance, is going to be a champion sooner or later. Drink some Coca-Cola there. Keep me going here. But like I said, I think Layla is going to be a champion sooner or later this year. Just depends on, who's holding the TBS title, because I think that's the one they're going to go with. But this ought to be a good match, and I'm going to go with Statler winning. I'm going to see her. What I see happening is Statler is going to capitalize on a mistake by Layla and hit her finisher, but then Layla will snap and go after Statler again and continue that feud. But I do see Chris Statlander winning the match in the buy-in. And then, excuse me there. We have the House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews versus Death Triangle, Pac, Pentagon Jr. or Pentagon Dark, and Eric Rowan in WWE, in a 6-man tag, a trios match. I think this will be a good closeout match. I think, obviously, they're saving it to be the last match on the buy-in. I think it'll be a good way to get people ready for the pay-per-view. House of Black right now, they have a good record. They have probably one of the best win-loss records, in AEW right now, as a group, as a stable. Aleister Black, I think his singles record is, good as well. Very decent. One of the best. Pac, same way. Pentagon Jr. is good. I know they want to push Pentagon, because if they're going to start because here's the thing, if AEW is going to do a relationship with AAA down the line, they got to start pushing some of those AAA stars. But yeah, Pentagon Jr. His singles record's good. Eric Redbeard, I don't know if this is just a one-off or if he's going to stay. I don't know. But I will say this. It's going to be a great 6-man trios match. And in the end, I'm going to go with the House of Black. I'm going with the House of Black to win. I think there might be a miscommunication on the Death Triangle Eric Redbeard side of things. But I'm going to go with House of Black. Because the way I look at it, Pac and Pentagon and Alex Marvez, they played their hand a little too soon. They should have waited to the buy-in at least. And traditionally, in any wrestling company, when you play your hand too soon, mainly like on the go-home show of, your main show Dynamite or your secondary show Rampage, that usually means you're going to end up losing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And in this case, they're going to end up probably losing. So I'm going to go with the House of Black because to me, I think the hand was played a little too soon. And it's going to favor, in my opinion, House of Black winning, possibly by miscommunication on Death Triangle and Eric Redbeard's part, if you know what I mean. Drink some more coffee. Drink some more not coffee, but the Coca-Cola there. Alright, next up, we get into the actual pay-per-view matches. We have Jade Cargill versus Tai Conte for Jade's AEW TBS title, which is the women's secondary title. This will be a good match. I think Tai is going to really help carry this match, but like I said, when I was talking about the hype being built up for this and everything, about a week or two ago when the card was still being finalized and being structured and finalized, I said this has got to be in Jade's favor, and I still think it's going to be. I'm going to go with Jade to beat Tai Conte in a great match, because the way I look at it, if you're building Jade to get to that level, get her to the Women's World Championship, which is the ultimate goal of AEW right now. Let's not fool ourselves. We know that's the ultimate goal. Then you have to have her beat some top level talent, especially talent that recently competed for the Women's World Championship and took the women's champion to the limit and came close to winning the women's title. So to me, you definitely have to have Jade beat Tai here, and by beating Tai, it kind of legitimizes her as someone that you have to keep an eye on, going into the rest of 2022. Because if you have her beat someone that, like I said, came this close to beating the Women's World Champion in Britt Baker on one of your last pay-per-views, Full Gear, and you have Jade beat that same woman on the first pay-per-view, of the new year for you guys, which is, Revolution, then again, like I said, that sets up Jade to go to that next level and be someone to keep an eye on when it comes to the Women's World Title picture as we, get closer to the end of 2022, which again, as I said in that other video, I am basically saying that I'm basically saying, and I'm going out on a limb here, that Jade will be holding the Women's World Title before the year's out. She's going to lose because here's the thing, I said it clear as day, unless they do it tomorrow night, which they won't, or unless they do it at Double or Nothing, which they won't. I said that between the time frame of, the time frame of Fight for the Fallen and All Out, that's when I see her dropping the TBS title. Between the time frame of, Fight for the Fallen and All Out, between that time frame, between those couple of months in the summer, going into Labor Day of 2022, when, All Out is supposed to take place, I predict Jade will lose the title in that time frame, but then by losing it, you're going to utilize that to build her up so that at Full Gear, if not Winter is Coming to close out the year, Full Gear being the last pay-per-view of the year and Winter is Coming being the last Dynamite special of the year, I see at one of those events between that time frame, mostly hopefully at Full Gear, I see Jade walking out of that event the Women's World Champion. So to me, I see her walking in as the TBS champion here at Revolution, walking out with it. See the same thing at Double or Nothing. And because, again, I don't see her dropping that title until between the time frame of Fight for the Fallen and All Out, which, again, will allow her to be set up and pushed towards the Women's World title, which I think she's going to win at Full Gear if between the time frame of Full Gear and Winter is Coming 2022, but mostly Full Gear. That's just how I see it being done. I can't see any other direction you're going to go with. But overall, though, I do not see Jade dropping the TBS title to Tai Conte. It would be a great match. I just don't see her dropping it. Because, again, it's all part of the plan to build it up to the women's title at the end of the year. All right. Next up, we have the AHFO, Andrade El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isiah Cassidy versus Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting. Darby, Andrade, and Sammy, of course, recently were in that three-way dance triple threat match for the TNT title, which was really good. Sammy ended up winning. And now that does raise the question if there's going to be any dissension maybe on that side of the structure. I don't think so. There might be more dissension on the side of the AHFO, but we'll see. This is being dubbed as the first ever six-man tornado trios match. Excuse me there. And in case you don't know what a tornado match is, it's basically when all members of both teams are in the ring at once. And if you're going to add in the rules of trios, the trios rule, that basically means all three people go at it at the same time in this match. I think this would be a good match. You're going to have some spots here and there. There's no doubt. I mean, the spot festers, if you will, the spot takers, if you will, are going to be Isiah, Cassidy, Darby, and Sammy. There's no doubt. I do see a move happening possibly near the entranceway or something involving Darby and Isiah Cassidy. I see that happening. Or Darby on Andrade. I could see that happening. I could see a miscommunication between Andrade and Matt, which will lead to Sting, Darby, and Sammy winning. And then I think what's going to happen is they're going to use the Darby, Sting, Sammy win to build to Darby and Sammy at Double or Nothing. You want to do something there, between those two pillars of, the company, the future of the company, then I think Double or Nothing would be, the best option to do it at, especially if you want to maybe give it some kind of special stipulation, which I believe it definitely deserves to have. It could be a ladder match, it could be a 30-minute Iron Man match, steel cage, whatever the case is. Some, I think, some kind of special match, I think, is really deserving for those two to go at it in at Double or Nothing. But yeah, I'm going to go with Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara to win this. And I definitely see this setting up, teasing and setting up the match between Sammy and Darby at Double or Nothing. But it's got to be some kind of a special match between the two for the TNT title. That's what I see. Next up, we have Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, defending in a three-way tag team match against reDRagon, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. I think this is going to be a stellar match. It's going to be one of the show stealers of the night. There is no doubt. I'm going to go with Jurassic Express winning because I think what's going to happen is you want to continue this dissension between the Bucks and reDRagon, and I think what's going to happen is you're going to have that dissension implode to the point that it's going to cost both teams the tag team titles, and then you just go from there and see what happens. Almost lost my lid there. But yeah, you just go from there and see what happens. But I'm going to go with Jurassic Express to win this match. Again, I think it's going to be a show stealer. We know how good all these teams are, high flying and technical wise. But I'm going to go with Jurassic Express winning because of the miscommunication between the Bucks and reDRagon, because both teams are going to want those belts. Both teams are friends of Adam Cole. And obviously the storyline going into this is only room for one of the teams to hold the belts. Who will it be? I mean, hopefully they don't do what I think, what I and anybody else thinks they're going to do, and that's have a member of reDRagon pin Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus, while a member of the Bucks does the same thing, and then the decision gets rendered that Bobby Fish and Matt Jackson are the tag champs because they did the pin at the same time, or Nick and Kyle are the tag champs because they did the pin at the same time. Hopefully they don't do that, and we have Jurassic Express walking out with the titles at the end. If Jurassic Express does drop those belts in the future, it's got to be to proud and powerful. Basically, Santana and Ortiz. They got to drop it to Santana and Ortiz at Double or Nothing because you're building up Santana and Ortiz right now. To get that shot, you got to have them be the ones that beat Jurassic Express. So I don't see Jurassic Express dropping the belts here because of the dissension and miscommunication between reDRagon and the Young Bucks. Then next up, we have Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson going one-on-one with each other. I think they have faced each other before one-on-one in WWE. Of course, we know that they faced each other in tag team matches when Danielson, as Daniel Bryan, teamed up with Kane and the Undertaker as Team Hell No and everything against the Shield. I know that. We've seen that. And I think, just trying to make sure here, I think, they have faced each other before as well. In fact, let me see if I'm right there, because I know. Yeah, here it is. I think we got it. I think we got something here. Let me check. Yes, they have faced each other before on several occasions. Yes, they have. They have faced each other before. They have faced each other on October 21st, 2003 on Raw. And they faced each other on SmackDown on May 10th, 2013. Not 2023, what am I talking about? But I'm saying they faced each other on October 21st, 2013. Sorry about that. I misread there. On Raw. And then they faced each other again on May 10th. Well, actually, they have this in out of order. YouTube has this out of order. They faced each other the first time. One of the first times they faced each other in a singles match in WWE. They faced each other on SmackDown, on May 10th, 2013. And then they faced each other again on October 21st, 2013 on Monday Night Raw. So they faced each other one or two times before that. And I think, see here, I don't want to get copyrighted or anything. We're going to turn this down. But it says here that this is WWN Live, and this is from Dragon Gate USA TV. Oh yeah, Danielson and Ambrose faced each other in Dragon Gate USA before, and in Evolve as well. And it was a violent match. This is what WWN says on Way of the Rowan, if you will, 2010. They faced each other in a violent match as themselves, as Moxley and Ambrose. Hopefully, this is what I'm hoping. Excalibur, if you're watching this, please bring up that match. Please bring up the fact that, you know, they faced each other in Dragon Gate in a violent match before. Do that. Please do that. I think that would be great. That would definitely be great. So yeah, Moxley and Ambrose, they have faced each other before. They faced each other in tag matches before. Well, actually, they teamed up together. Yeah, they actually teamed up together. A tribute to the troops in 2018. Yeah, they teamed up. Full match. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose. They actually teamed up together. That's pretty cool. And they faced each other in HWA on May 20th, 2010. And let's see. And Ambrose was a special guest referee for Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. So yeah, they faced each other before. They have faced each other before. Like I said, on May 10th, 2013 on SmackDown and October 21st, 2013 on Raw, they have faced each other before in a match. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, if you will. But they've have faced each other before. That's really nice. That's really cool. That's really cool and everything. But yeah, they have faced each other. Just checking something. They have faced each other before. And I think, like I said, even before that. So they know each other's style, but now it's going to be a little bit more different. And my hand touched the mic there, so I do apologize. It's going to be a little bit more different. And yeah, I can't wait to see how they top themselves now that they have a little bit more freedom. The question, though, is who wins? Who wins? And I think what we're going to get here is a double knockout. Not count out, not pin, not disqualification, knockout. These guys are going to go to war, and they're going to knock each other out. That's what's going to happen. So, unfortunately, I think we're going to get a draw, but it's going to be a very violent conclusion at the end. Then we have, so I'm going to go with a draw on that via knockout. Then we have Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston, another physical match. I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston to pull the upset because Eddie, to me, seems like the kind of guy that even though the fans love him, he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. And that includes breaking the rules. So I can see Eddie doing a situation to where he's going to take advantage, get the pinfall, even if he has to hold the ropes or something, or the tights or something. He's going to get the win. But this is going to be a physical match. And I don't think this is going to be the end of it. I think we're going to get another match between the post-Revolution edition of Dynamite and Double or Nothing. I think we're going to get a match between that time frame, if not at Double or Nothing. Then we have the Face the Revolution ladder match for a future TNT title match. We have Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Wardlow, and Christian Cage. This ought to be a good one. It's going to be a good showcase for some of the high flyers. A good showcase for some of the Powerhouse guys to show how strong they are. But I'm going to go with everybody's pick. I got to be unanimous in going with everybody else's pick here. I'm going with Wardlow. I'm going with Wardlow to win the match. And that's going to create more dissension between him and MJF. But I'm going with Wardlow to win the match and get the future TNT title shot. Then next up we have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Thunder Rosa, singles match for the Women's Championship. This is going to be a good one. To me, everybody is saying that it's Thunder Rosa's time, but honestly, I don't see it being her time. I don't. I see it being her time at Double or Nothing. Yes, I do. I see it at Double or Nothing being her time, but I don't see it being here. I don't see it being here. I see a great match. I really do. But I just don't see her winning it. I really don't. I mean, Britt Baker has all this momentum right now. Why would you want to take away that momentum? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to take away that momentum from Britt. So why would you? Why would you want to take that momentum away from the DMD? That does not make any sense. Fans love her. Even though she's supposed to be a heel, she is a fan favorite in the eyes of the fans. People love her. When she does the DMD, it don't matter where you are. It don't matter if you're in front of 100,000 people, 10,000 people, 500 people. They will chant it. Because they love her. They respect her. By the reaction she has, why would you take it away from her? It doesn't make sense. Look, I get Thunder Rosa has a fan base too. And you want to build something between Thunder Rosa and Jamie Hayter maybe. Or Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. I get that. Or Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill. I get that. Or Thunder Rosa and the new signee to the women's division, that Paige girl. I know you want to do that, but the thing is, now is not the time to put the belt on Thunder Rosa. Yes, it will be close to the anniversary, but I think the best opportunity to do it is Double or Nothing. And like I said before, you play into the theme of Double or Nothing. You have Thunder Rosa get a rematch, but on the condition that if she loses, her AEW career is either over, she either never gets another title shot as long as Britt has the belt, or to really humble Thunder Rosa, you have Thunder Rosa agree that she will be Britt's slave. She will be her maid, her servant for about 3 months, for basically most of the summer, unless Thunder Rosa shakes her hand and admits that she is better than Thunder Rosa. That she's the greatest women's... than Thunder Rosa, she's the greatest women's champion of all time. That's it. That's it. But I can't see them doing it. I mean, yeah, a lot of people say, well, all the clues are there. All the clues are there. And don't get me wrong, they are there. All the clues and everything are there, but I just don't see them doing it. So I'm going to go against any popular belief that Thunder Rosa is going to win, and I'm going with Britt Baker, DMD. Britt's my choice. Britt is the one I'm going with. So Britt Baker, to me, is the safe choice to go with going in to the next pay-per-view, which is where I think Thunder Rosa, and I should not only think, but I should believe Thunder Rosa should win the title, because you want to add the stipulation to play into the theme of the pay-per-view. Raise the stakes. Thunder Rosa gets a rematch, but she either, one, puts her AEW career on the line, or she agrees to not challenge for the belt as long as Britt has the belt, or she becomes Britt's servant for 90 days. End of story. So to me, I'm going with Britt Baker to win and Thunder Rosa to get her moment at Double or Nothing. It makes more sense. It's in Las Vegas. You play into the theme of the event. End of story. So I'm going with Britt Baker to walk out still AEW Women's World Champion, the DMD. Then we have CM Punk, MJF in a dog collar match. This one, my friends, you want violence? This will be violent. You all thought the dog collar match between Cody and the late Brody Lee was violent on television, on TNT. This, and I say it with all due respect, God rest his soul, to Brody Lee, if you will, to John Harper, but to me, or to John Huber, but to me, I think this is going to outdo it. I think this is going to outdo the violence of that Rhodes-Lee match, because it's not only on pay-per-view, not only because of the people involved, that being CM Punk and MJF, but because of the fact that it's on pay-per-view, and on pay-per-view you can go a little bit more crazier. you can go a little bit more violent. So I definitely see, especially after what happened on Rampage, well, not Rampage, but Dynamite last week, if you will. Or not last week, but this past Wednesday, after what happened on Dynamite this past Wednesday, I could definitely see, and then Punk's response on Rampage, this is going to be very violent. Like I said, I think it's going to blow the Rhodes Lee dog collar match out of the water, and it's going to go on par with Piper and Valentine, if not surpass it. I hate to say that, because I've seen that match. It is violent, but this one could be even more violent. Like I say, especially with those involved. Now the question is, who wins? To me, it's got to be CM Punk. I think after Wardlow wins his match, wins the Face the Revolution ladder match, MJF is going to order him to give him the title shot no matter what happens. And Wardlow's response may be, accidentally, as he'll put it, costing MJF the dog collar match, but then revealing he didn't do it on accident. He did it on purpose because he's sick of MJF telling him what to do. So to me, I'm going with CM Punk in this, and I think it's going to be because Wardlow's going to cost MJF, make it seem like it was an innocent accident, but then reveal he did it on purpose because he's sick of MJF bossing him and everybody else around. That's what I see happening. So I'm going to go with CM Punk winning this, but again, guys, this is going to be ultra violent because of the combatants involved. And to me, like I said, it's going to blow the Rhodes Lee match out of the water and be on par, if not surpass, Piper and Valentine. And then the last match we have is Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole for the AEW World title. To me, this is going to be a good match. You're building Adam Page up, to be, a legitimate champion. I know some people have their doubts about his run right now, but it takes time, as the old saying goes. I mean, some people want to say it's hypocritical, for the AEW diehards to say, oh, you're using the excuse of it takes time, let it play out for WWE, but yet they say the same thing, but yet they justify saying the same thing for AEW. He's one of those instances where I guess you could say the justification would work. Because to me, I think what's going to happen is reDRagon's going to try to interfere on Cole's behalf. The Bucks are going to come out and interfere basically to prevent, reDRagon from interfering. And that's going to cause Adam Cole to get distracted, and that's going to allow Adam Page to win. And that will cause more dissension. But that, to me, by having reDRagon come out to try to help Adam Cole win, but then the Bucks come out to basically prevent them from winning, or prevent them from doing so, not only is it going to cost Adam Cole the match, but it's going to finally be, like I say, the final piece of the puzzle they need to put, Adam Cole and reDRagon against the Bucks, and potentially Omega when he comes back. But until then, the Bucks and Page, in my opinion. So, even though I think this will be a great match, I'm going to go with Hangman Adam Page to win, which is going to basically be the final nail in the coffin, and the final piece of the puzzle to set up reDRagon and, Adam Cole, the Undisputed Originals, or Paragon, whatever they call themselves, against the Young Bucks, and for a time, Adam Page, and then Kenny Omega when he comes back. That's what I think it's leading up to. So, I'm going to go with Adam Page on that. But, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for my predictions for AEW Revolution tomorrow night. Again, I'm going for the buy-in. I'm going with Hook. In his match against QT. Chris in her match against Layla. And House of Black in their match against Death Triangle and Eric Redbeard. I'm going with Jade over Tai Conte. I'm going with Sting, Sammy, and Darby over the AHFO, which in the end is going to set up and tease Darby and Sammy at Double or Nothing in a match I think should be a ladder match or 30 minutes or Iron Man match or whatever. But I'm going to go with Sting, Sammy, and Darby. I'm going with Jurassic Express to retain their titles against reDRagon and the Young Bucks. I'm going with a double knockout, if you will, between Moxley and Danielson, basically a draw, which will continue the program. I'm going with Eddie Kingston by using any means necessary to beat Chris Jericho. I'm going with Wardlow to win the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I'm going with Britt Baker, DMD, to retain over Thunder Rosa. And I'm going with CM Punk over MJF. And I'm going with Hangman Adam Page over Adam Cole. But what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win these matches? Do you agree with some of my picks? And where basically some of the actual let me rewind that. Okay. Do you agree with some of my picks here? And do you agree with maybe the idea to hold off on some of the wins for some of the people that, projected to win here for later? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section, as well as in the live chat during the premiere, where super chats and super stickers are open and would be appreciated. Also, check me out at BW Rosa's Discussions, all your favorite audio podcast platforms, except for Pandora. Also, check me out at VENMO for content you can't get anywhere here on YouTube due to copyright. Also, check me out at deviantart.com/BVW1979. Also, check me out at patreon.com/BWRosas to support me with a $1, $3 tier. Also, check me out at Venmo at Brian-Womer-2. And also check me out at Cash App at BWRosas98. But again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. And I am out.